Welcome to another GreatDrams whiskey review by me, Greg Dillon, owner and writer of GreatDrams.com. Today I'm going to tackle the Ardmore Legacy. Now, the Ardmore is a fascinating whiskey because you can find this in most supermarkets nowadays relatively cheaply, sub 26 quid most of the time. But the actual liquid itself, dates back over a century, probably about a century and a half. But more so, it's the core malt component for the Teacher's blended Scotch brand. And so the Ardmore, that kind of classic smokiness that we'll go through in a second, is what you'll find as the malt body of the Teacher's blend. And hailing from a fair distance from Aberdeen Airport, the distillery itself is incredibly quaint, sits on a little railway track, and it's just lovely. Actually put together or opened by William Teacher himself, the man of innovation who's behind things such as the first iteration of a ration card that was then used for in the World Wars. He had dram shops where they had first no smoking bars effectively in Scotland or the UK. And also in these dram shops, it was predominantly for sailors or maritime folk who would come in, and they were allowed, hence the ration cards I mentioned, they were allowed only a certain amount of whiskies because he didn't want it to be a place of debauchery and sheer drunkenness. So looking at the actual liquid itself, lovely colour to it. Whilst there is that underlying smokiness you'd expect from what is effectively a Highland Scotch, or is actually a Highland Scotch, but they say it's lightly peated. But on the nose it's very light, very malty, and hints of orchard fruit just coming through, specifically apples, and then the odd kind of almost pear drop, so to speak. And the more you nose it, the more you get that smokiness come through and that peat character. And a lovely soft vanilla note that just wraps around it. Now on the palate, incredibly biscuity. The peat is there, the smoke is really kind of prominent. Much more so than you'd expect from a lightly peated whiskey. And almost like hobnobs, that kind of biscuits we're talking about here. And it's a super smooth vanilla character that just kind of ebbs away. Very kind of, not a short, not a long, quite a medium finish to it. But the fruits on the nose, when coupled with that light peat and that light smoke, lovely stuff. And it's one I always use, especially in introductory whiskey tastings. Don't think it's that complex at all that would keep a whiskey fanatic interested for too long, so to speak. But I do believe it's one of those amazing gateways into the smoky and the lightly peated realm of flavour profile. So definitely pick up a bottle if you're looking to just nudge into that type of whiskey characteristic. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks for popping by.